There are no rules. So, I mean, that is what has contributed to the way things are now. There are a bunch of young people who don't know what to do because they haven't had good stewardship or, parentage. Well, single parentage is there, but that's not the best scenario as we are seeing now. So it is up to us to, well, that whole thing about a village raising a kid, we need to return to that. First, we got to get the village back together, which we're working on now. We're going to do that. But after we do that and kick out the corporations, uh, we'll have our own erudite system so we can dismantle this education crap that was pushed on us. Um, and so, with the erudition and them learning the actual truth about things, behavior will change. What's happening now is people were taught a bunch of lies. So, I mean, you got the matrix going on heavy, and them not even knowing it's a matrix. So, I believe that the way out really through is erudition, teaching the truth, being the truth, not lying, not cheating, not stealing, all those things that people don't think are important, but they really are. They contribute to the deterioration of all of society, from what I've seen. Are you? Islam, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So, in all the things that we know are going on, we have to, those of us who can see, now that we know better, we have to do better,
Hmm.
cover everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, right now, I had a vision, and you had sort of the same vision this past week. And I want to say to the collective that there shall be no spirits of addiction to fall upon thee, no self sabotaging limits or thoughts to plague our minds. All things are made possible for us, and all negative energies, intentions, and thoughts that have been casted upon us have been consumed with love and reversed back to its sources, its senders, the bringers of it, the perpetuators of it, everybody who stands in solidarity with it and for it, and
Hello.
everybody who is praying for it, interceding for it, and protecting others who are doing these vicious things from a place of religion, from a place of worship. Because, see, there's a lot of things that have been going on against us that we have not been aware of, and there are entities that from their churches and from their places of worship, religious groups that have been banding together to bring negative intentions, negative thoughts, evil eye towards the Aboriginals and Aborigines, and actually committing identity theft. So now that we know this, we do better. and we put in our prayers. We invoke the powers in our own prayers that these things have been um, made undone from us and not ever to be done. So, in that is just a confirmation to affirm to the collective, the soul tribe, that these things are being done and have been done. And so, this is how we break the strongholds and the generational curses and the things that have been knowingly or unknowingly done and cast it upon us. And so now we are seeing a lot of these things being broken from us and our family lines. So this is what we have to do, and this is what will break the chains and the strongholds and all the things that they have been using, that have been used by secret, shadowy rulers and people in the background in these bloodlines that have been doing all types of spiritual crimes, acts of secrecy and sorcery against us. So this past week, our court demanded our spiritual inheritance be returned back to us. Our spiritual inheritance be returned back to us. Our financial inheritance, our physical inheritance, the rights of possession, and the keys. Okay? The keys belong to us. The keys, our ancestors' keys to our estate belong to us. Spiritual, physical, and mental keys belong to us. So, in our knowing, as we move forward, these are the things that we have to clear up, especially in our divination court. We have our own imperial tribal court, and a lot of people may think that that is not possible or just don't know. Okay, so there's laws that give tribal courts full faith and credit in every venue, in every courtroom, in every place of authority. So our tribal court has to be recognized. The orders that come from our tribal court have to be recognized. Okay. So these are some of the things that are possible and that I have been walking in, and myself and my tribe have been walking in since 2017. So we're in 2025 now. And so um, the lawful officials honor it. We have had challenges in the past because they're unlawful. They're still unlawful officials that don't want to honor it. They want to fight the law. So they do all these things. They do what they want to do, and then when it comes time to face us in court, nothing ever sticks. It does not. They do not win. They cannot win against tribal law and the laws that we stand on. So some of us, the indigenous collective, we recognize ourselves as Moors or indigenous inhabitants of the land. So those are the laws that we stand on, and those are the laws that cannot be denied. Okay, and decolonization has been in full effect since 1960. And here we are in 2025, and individuals still are fighting the the law, international law, natural law, universal law, and even laws on the books for decolonization. Decolonization is where they came in and forcefully colonized and forced assimilation into our land, governance, courts, every place of business, all the affairs of man, financing, marketplaces, um, trade. So in Canada, in 2006, the Queen of England, the Elizabeth Windsor, claiming to be the Queen of England at that time, was ordered by the World Court to return the rights back to the Aboriginals. Okay, this was in 2006, because she and her bloodline were a part of the colonial era, the Inquisition. So technically and lawfully and spiritually, she was not a queen. Okay, the Windsor family is not a royal family. Okay, so we're dealing with the unveiling right now of the facades, of the falsehoods, of everybody who has been claiming royal status, claiming indigenous, and claiming imperial status, who are not, and who yet they have been in control of governments. They have been in control of finances. They have been in control of industries and given orders as though they were royal or imperial or such, when they are not. So now that we show up, a person like me shows up to take their proper place, I'm getting challenged all over the place. Even though it's right, even though I'm in the right of way, there's still challengers. And so I keep moving forward like a freight train, because I know at the end of the day, they cannot beat me. I know at the end of the day, this is my story. This is my life path. Once you know self and study self, you have no reason to hold anger or animosity. It just is what it is. It's a part of the process. And a lot of my friends and family members and onlookers may not know and understand the plight and the walk that I'm walking. It's a road less traveled, trust me. So they put all of this disinformation, misinformation, and defamatory um, commentary and reports and articles in their news regarding myself and others, because they do not want the truth to come out. That's number one. They do not want us to be seen in a good light. And they have their own reasons and agendas for why they do what they do and what they have done to me. They have their own separate agenda. And to everybody that's still believing everything that's in the news and everything that's being said and everything a so-called law official has done or said, please know not to believe the hype. We are in a day and age where everybody should know that you cannot believe everything that's being said and told to you, especially by the media. And the level of corruption that we've been dealing with, and the silent attacks against truth tellers and people like me, is outrageous. If you only knew what I have been put through, just because I stand for the truth, just because I know the truth, because I'm a truth teller and I speak out about it and I stand in it, stand on it, and I make them acquiesce to it, meaning bow down to it. So for a lot of officials and people in authority that have been in these authoritative positions to have a challenger coming up in the ranks and making them bow down to the law and making them bow down to what's right. They don't like it. So it went from me beating them in court all the time, them challenging me, and it's always a real estate matter. And I'm thinking to myself, don't they know that that's my background? I've held mostly all licenses in real estate since the age of 19. But, my spirit team let me know that that's a part of the plan. It had to happen that way because had I not had the knowledge, I wouldn't know that I was being violated in those areas. And your challenge is, and your sacrifice is always your calling. So there's something in my calling that has to do with real estate and the land. Okay, so that's spiritual. So I have to rely on the spiritual aspect and the spiritual answer for everything, because not a lot of people will understand this plight. Not a lot of people will understand this fight. Not a lot of people will understand that I'm doing what's right because of what they put out there to spin the narrative. Okay, knowing that it's a blatant lie, but these people are dealing in manipulation, sorcery, acts of secrecy and sorcery, and a lot of spiritual things that they have been able to get away with in the past, whereas now they cannot get away with those things anymore because we know better. Now that we know, we're able to lift the cloaks and the veils and the hiding and the secrecy and the mask and the illusions, confusions, and all of these different identities they've been wearing. They've been doing a lot, to stay in power, to be against us, and to be unseen. Okay? We got a lot of unseen hands been doing things behind the scenes that come from a place of authority, official capacities, religious groups. The primary religious group that's giving the power to the unlawful authorities to do these things comes from the Nicene Council, Knights of Columbus, Knights of Malta, the Inquisition, okay, which has now transformed into the Chaplain of Spain, the Cabal, the Vatican, the Archdiocese, the Jesuits, and then you have all of their other secret groups under them, Zionists, Illuminati, Boule, sororities, fraternities, okay, brothers and sisters of the White Cloth, daughters and sons of the Nile, daughters and sons of Isis, Masons, Freemasons, fraternal orders of police, fraternal orders of paramedics and EMTs, and firemen. It's They have it all lined up, and they have deployed all of their secret society members and all of their employees and all who are under their orders into action. So now today, for the last, I would say, 5 years, we have noticed our homes being, well, it's been longer than that for me. About 10 years, I've noticed that they have been encroaching secretly onto our properties, onto our land, sneaking in the houses and cars and doing stuff, doing things, okay? And they're using military raid equipment, cloak and suits where you can't see them. Now, I was telling my tribe this years ago, and nobody really believed me because it's like if these things don't happen to you in your own life, it's very hard to conceive that it can happen. So one of my tribal members, he got his camera set up because he started noticing things. And I was telling him that's somebody sneaking around your house, probably with a secret suit on. He probably thought Empress is tripping. He got the cameras put up. He caught him a couple of times One good time, we have the tape of a guy in a apparently in a invisible suit, and the only thing, the suit was too short for him. He was a taller guy, and it got his pants leg. The whole body part you don't see. You just see the back of his pants leg where the suit stopped right there. You can see his foot and the end of his pants leg. You can see him walking away because his secret suit was too short for him. So everything that I've said and been shown myself and lived these experiences for myself, and a lot of things come to me through divination and my divine eye. A lot of my tribal members have seen. And through my journey of self discovery, I have found others who have been going through the same thing, who are not in my tribe, who are not in do not consider themselves a tribal member or more, or an indigenous inhabitant. This has been happening to them. So I find comfort in the readers that have come out and start talking about these things, because it has shown me that it's a whole generation of us going through this. It's not just me. It's not just indigenous inhabitants or Moors or people like me. This has been happening to Aboriginals and Aborigine because of who we are. It's bloodlines these people been following. It's like they're vampires, energy thieves. It's just been so crazy what's been going on. So those are the chronicles of Ninti El Bay that I will be exposing and talking about the events of my life, the things that have happened in my life. Okay. And thank God I have so much knowledge and information out here in the public, and have had so many, you know, licenses and different accolades proving that I am of good mindset, that I have my mind, my true um and valid, clear mindset. Because if I didn't have all this proof out here, these people could have tried to paint me out to be something that I am not, which is what they tried to do, which is what they've been doing. Everything they done to me, and they have done so much. My spirit team, the ancestors showed me, my mother God and my father God showed me that this is what they have been doing to others, to steal their inheritances, label them crazy, and take everything from them, get them locked up, or put into a mental institution. This is what they actually tried to do to me, even after in 2010, I beat them, and it's still on the books, a case in North Carolina, Empress Nintiel Bay, and the family of the Moors, for, with, and by the family of the Moors with Empress Nintiel Bay. Nintiel Bay. $101,006,000 on the books, a lawsuit that I wrote to my credit, and the Department of Justice took it and sued the state of North Carolina. I did all of this already. They still tried to come and label me after they falsely locked me up, pulled me from my home that I paid cash for, a manufactured home. $45,000 I paid for the house. They try to come and say I owe them something when I don't owe them anything. Even if I did owe them something, I have the right to due process of the law, which no due process of the law was ever followed in my cases. None of them. They had no, anytime they came to my door, it's like a tactic for these unlawful rogues. That's one of the things they do. They want to get you shaken up, unsettled, move you from pillar to post, snatch you from houses. They don't have no um, lawful authority to be doing these things, but because they have the strong arm and they playing in these sorcery games, this is like real life Game of Thrones here. They feel like they had the power to do these things without being caught or without receiving no kind of um, repercussions or having to pay no retribution for their actions. They just do whatever they want to do. Okay, so now that I'm aware of this and I have been able to see through the fog and lift their cloaks and veils, now they're getting caught. Now, here in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, where I'm at, they're being caught. They're being brought to the forefront. Judges getting arrested, sheriffs getting arrested, chief of police retiring, up and retiring. They have no more cloaks and veils. The cloaks and veils have been lifted. Everything has been stripped from them. So it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. I'm still standing 10 toes down no matter what. I don't care about their lies they put in the news. And it's unfortunate for all of y'all who still believe everything somebody is saying in the news. But everybody who know me should know better. I'm not even trying to explain myself to anybody because what for? People want to believe negative stuff before they believe the real and the positive anyway because it's something to talk about because that's a reflection of their own life and their own vibration, their own vibrational alignment that they own. So it's comforting to them to talk about this, to talk about that. I've never been into that and I don't care. The people in high places and the proper officials and authorities know what time it is, and my mother God and my father God and my spiritual team know my heart and they know what I'm going through and they allowing it to happen because something has to be brought out of this. I know this, I understand this, I know what's in my astrological birth chart, and I have studied self. So it's just hard having to go through it again because I went through this in 2015 and I didn't understand my full powers and authorities. So it's a lesson that I had to go back through because I missed something. And so every time you miss something, it's like everything in life. It's a spiritual thing. If you miss something, if you don't pass that lesson, you have to go back and repeat it again. It's just like with everything. So that's what I just came out of 13 months locked up in the hole unlawfully. It went from me being in a house. They tried to say on the news and all of this that I was squatting, which I got proof and I posted it online. The cashier's check with my name on it. But that was just an excuse for them to snatch me and be able to lock me up. The judge let me out immediately, probably a few days later, and they was denying me my rights. They denied me my first arraignment. You know how if you ever been locked up, they give you an arraignment right away. They denied me my arraignment because they didn't want me to get out. They knew I was gonna get out, like I always do. They done arrested me about 30 times down here in Charlotte, North Carolina since I've been here since 2006 because of the stance that I take for whatever reason. They was never able to lock me up for that long. So they kept making excuses. And so about maybe less than a week later, I went and actually saw a judge, a lawful judge, and the judge dismissed everything. It took them 13 months to let me out because they was trying everything under the sun to keep me in there. trying to hold false hearings, talking about my capacity, trying to say all of these attorneys showing up that I never seen and never hired, trying to determine my mental capacity. How did we get from a house to my mental capacity? You see what I'm saying? It was a whole plot. I saw the move. They was just trying to make a move to try to keep taking over something that belongs to me. I don't need it. I'm documented, duly noticed, and documented on the record for my status and who I am. And there is nobody from any attorney firm, corporate status that could ever speak for me. But they tried, and they noticed. I got stuff, legal notices and affidavits on the record in the court, in the county, and notice to them, actually, lawfully, and constructively notice to them. These are legal terms from the county, from the state, from the president on down. This is how we do it when we notice them of our status. So they already know who I am. They just playing their games to see what they can get away with. And they also try to not only assassinate me, but gang stalk me. Brought all these guys in black security uniforms from the outside. Thought they was gonna um, bring me harm, literally. Then they thought they was going to, they was trying to kidnap me to another state. Every day trying to give me a shot, coming to me telling me they got to give me this shot, they got to give me that shot. And I did just like this to the last lady that came to the door. And then after this, they didn't come no more. I did like this. Ma'am, I got to give you this immunization shot, vaccine shot, whatever shot it was. And I just looked at her and did like this. I said, no, you do not. It was like I had to make a stand. It was like a whole spiritual fight every day to make a stand for them not enforcing and imposing their will on me. Every day they try to impose their will on me with something. I'm just looking like this is the craziest stuff I ever been through in my life. Coming to the door, looking in the door every day, several of the officers walking, all they did was walk the floor. And I said to myself, this is like some real life stuff going walking to and real life stuff that is in the Bible and spoken of. This is like prophetic stuff is going on. They walking to and fro, seeking whom they can devour, seeking whom energy they can pull. I mean, I'm talking about looking in the windows like this, coming to my window, looking in like this, just standing there with their eyes bucked. I mean, it's the craziest stuff. And I'm looking, after a while, I started yelling at them, get out of my window. I'm not your mental patient. I'm not. I'm not. This is a jail. They kept acting like it was a hospital. I could have sworn I was in a damn hospital ward the way they was acting, trying to pull something from out of me, trying to suck the pure life out of me, spiritually, physically, any way, shape, or form they could do it. Bringing these men on the lady side of the jail. I'm looking like, you know how many times I've been in here? This don't happen. What is going on? They tased me. But that's a whole nother story for another time. I'll talk about that. So I'm everything is not going to be in chronological order, but at some point after I do all these videos and bring forth all that I remember, I'm going to put it in chronological order. I'm just recording as it comes to me the things that happen from now until, from this point right now and back. So it's all relevant. It's all leading up to the same fate. So that's what it is. I just wanted to check in with the fam, with my tribe, let everybody know I'm alive. And that's the basis of what happened. Um, Once again, don't believe the hype. Everything is not what it seems. They have you looking at one thing in the media when they really doing something else. And it wasn't even about a house, trust me. All right, family, my tribe, divine love. I will see y'all next time. I'm out. Peace. And I'm